Good morning. It's Monday morning. Still continuing on my trip up around, I guess it was around 3:30 this morning. Left my base camp, which wasn't really a camp. I was staying in some nice digs in Mammoth. I stayed in Mammoth last night because I want to be a little bit closer to Yosemite, which is where I'm heading. In fact, I'm pretty close right now. I stopped a couple of places along the way. As always, when you see something you can't resist to take a photograph, which is what I did. I'm getting close. I'm about, I'm trying to think, I think I'm about 18 miles or so from Tuolumne Meadows. I think that's how you pronounce it. So I'm getting close. Sun is already up. I thought I was going to be a little bit closer, but of course with those couple of stops I've delayed my approach. But I'm going to swing the car around so you can see what I'm looking at right now. And that is what we're looking at right now. Very impressive. But I think we're still early enough that I can get some pretty good shots. But anyway, that's the view we're looking at the moment. Very nice indeed. So I wanted you to share the view I'm looking at the moment. But anyway, I'm not going to delay too much. I want to get going so I can get into the park ahead of the crowd. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Well, I made it to Tuolumne Meadows. I'm now going to scout around here to see if I can find a good composition. I'm down here by a wonderful little lake here. Let's see if I can give you a little look at what I'm seeing here. It's really a beautiful setting. I'm just going to scout around a little bit and see if I can find a good composition. I'm going to walk around, so I'll check back in a little bit, okay? All right. So I've walked around a few spots here and I've just spotted something around here. I'm going to go back around the other side. I've actually got a couple of locations I'm interested in, but I'm going to show you one here which is actually rather interesting. Over my shoulder here, it's right out there. It's a clump of trees. Almost looks like they're on a little island out there. And if I can isolate that tree there, and there's a bit of a swift current right here, and if I get the right shutter speed, that will make for a little interesting one. And then what I'm going to do also, this tree right here, and if I walk around and get you that angle, that tree with the mountain in the background, but I have to kind of position myself at the right angle. Anyway, it takes a little bit of juggling, but what I'll do is I'll have to kind of work around. Anyway, I'm going to get set up with my camera and tripod. So there's a few possibilities here. I'm going to work on those and see what I can do. All right. Well, you can see I've hiked up through the forest and found another beautiful location here. It's just spectacular. In fact, each location gets better and better. Oh boy, it's beautiful in here. There's not a soul around. I have the place to myself. I'm glad I actually picked this location. I was almost tempted to go to the main park, but I didn't really want to deal with the crowds and go to the so-called iconic spots. I thought I'd go here and go somewhere different, and I'm glad I did, because this is really quite spectacular. I had the place to myself. I can just wander around, no crowds, and this really is truly nature. Yeah, this is wonderful. So I'm just going to take my time, wander around, and if I don't get a lot of shots, that's great. I'm just enjoying myself, and this is wonderful. The first two shots that I was talking about, the first one worked out okay, I think. The second one I really couldn't make it work, and I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to enjoy myself. If I get photographs, wonderful. If I don't, this really is just about enjoying nature, and that's really what it's all about. Okay, so I'm going to check in later. I've just taken a couple of shots here. I tried some bracketed and did a couple regular shots, playing around with the ISO, flowing out, smoothing out the water to capture a little bit of motion, but not too slow. I don't like the really silky, milky white. I just want to capture a little bit of the movement, because I want to show the action of the water a little bit. But this is a nice location right here. So I'm going to hug the shoreline and move further up, walk up through these trees, and then head the other side up there and see what else I can find. All right, check in later. Bye bye. I'm set up for another shot here. I actually walked up. If you recall, I was down past that clump, and I followed the shoreline all around, came up through the trees there. It's my bag up there, and I've worked my way around, and I've come down, and I'm set up here for a shot. On these falls here. Should be quite nice. I also tried one earlier with my other long lens, straight out across the way there. This is a beautiful setting. In fact, actually, everywhere you look is quite spectacular. It's like I'm like a kid in a candy store here. So I've tried a couple of different settings here. I've tried a couple of line exposures and just a couple of regular shots. This is actually quite tricky here, setting up here, because this is really soggy ground here, and I don't want to get too close to the camera, because the tripod is not too stable. So I'm standing back and I'm using my remote camera. I'm going to try and see if I can walk up on that ledge, as long as it's safe, and get up on the top. And I don't know if there's a shot to be had looking down over the falls here, but if it's not safe, I won't do it. But I want to go and explore and look and see what it looks like looking down over those falls. So I'm I'm up on top of the ledge. You can see there's no way I can safely walk across there. Probably just about get to that point right there, but I don't even want to risk that. Those rocks are slippery. And I can slowly around and show you where I was standing earlier. And I was right down in that little spot right there. I've left my gear. You might be able to just see a little spot of orange up in the trees there. Backpack and tripod. There it is right there. And I've got my camera on my shoulder just in case I can see an opportunity. Look at the colour of that water. Get a view up here, and I can go here safely. I can take a view up the valley there. It's stunning. I'm in the middle of the water. Yes, this is really the best place to be. And I'm going to sit here for a while, take a break, and just enjoy the surroundings. I'm not even worried about taking photographs for at least 10-15 minutes or even perhaps a bit longer. I had my little break, my little meditation. I'm in a very precarious spot for this next one though, so excuse me if I don't do a narrative while I'm actually taking the shot. Walk around here, I have to kind of carefully step down here. Hang on a second. So I'm going to lean against this tree while I show you. And I'm going to hold this up. You can see the tripod is only just balanced. In actual fact, it'd be better if I do a separate shot, so I'm not in the shot here. Or maybe I can do it like this. Here we are. Let me get back here so you can do a bit of a perspective. There you are. You can see I'm on a ledge. It's only just on there, but you can see the perspective I'm trying to get. So I hope you can see it. I'm trying to get that little waterfall there. I'm trying to get the water cascading down there, and I'm hoping also, let me get up here, the water flowing out as well. So I hope I can pull it off. I may have to jiggle around with the, I may have to take the tripod off of the ledge again for safety, and let me get back up here again and adjust the legs for height, and then put it back down there again. So I think I'm a little bit high right now, and once I'm happy with everything, then I'll put on the remote, I'll do a test shot, and then I think I'll put the either a CPL or an ND on there to control the exposure. So I'll be a little while. I don't think I'll do a narrative while I'm actually doing it. I'll need to have my hands free because it's a little bit precarious down there. There's not a lot of room. As you can see on that ledge. So I'll check in a little bit if all goes well. And if you see me soaking wet, that means I went for a swim. Bye. So I walked further upstream through the forest and then came back in, and I saw, there we are. So I've got these rocks right here, and I was going to try and use those as leading lines up through the river, which kind of snakes around the corner, and I thought that might have made a pretty good composition. So we have yet another one. This river just keeps on giving. It's wonderful. I don't know how far I've walked, but it's quite a bit. I have to be careful I don't walk too far, because I've got to find my way back. It's very tempting though. I'll have another rest in a little while. But yeah, the backpack's getting kind of heavy. Well, I've left the Tuolumne Meadows. I'm actually not too far from there. I've gone a little ways into Yosemite now, and I've pulled over because I spotted this meandering river, and I'm not sure how far up I can get to get the curve of the river. Shooting those mountains in the background, which is my preference, I'm a little bit into the sun. On the other hand, if I hike that ways, I have to kind of go through some marshland, then I'll have the sun to my back, then I'll have trees as my backdrop. I'm going to go ahead and hike both ways and try both shots. Bit of a trek both ways, but you know what? What else have I got to do, right? And what better way to spend your time? It's a tough job, but someone has to do it. Alright, so I've got a bit of a trek to get this bend right here, and that bit in the distance. I'm going to have to go quite a ways up there, probably beyond that curve up there. So I'm going to sign off for the moment and get walking. I'll check in later. Bye-bye. One little obstacle I've discovered to get, I'm further up as you can see, but now try and photograph that S-bend, I've got to get across to that bank over there, and I keep coming across these little marshy spots, and now I've got to kind of get across to that bank over there. There's the river snaking through up around to the bend. And now I'm finding these obstacles here, preventing me from getting across. There's like a second little river, and I'm having trouble finding a way across. I made it across, as you can see. Now I've got to kind of work my way back down so I can get to the bend, because right now I can't see the bend, and that's my next goal. Work my way down. This is a nice view though with the mountains, but I want to get that little bend. This looks like it's the best I can do. Kind of standing a little bit in water here. Preferably the other bank might have been better, but I'm going to try this because I get the mountains, I get a little bit of that bend, but I think the opposite bank might have been better, but it's not an option. So I'm going to try this, and then I'll double back, cross over a little spot I found, then hike down over there and then shoot from the other side. I might get a better angle from the other way. Alright, so I'll try this, and then we'll see how this comes out. I've taken a couple of shots, but I need to skedaddle out of here because, as you can see, I'm actually standing in water, and I've just realised I didn't put on any mosquito spray this morning. It just didn't occur to me, but now I'm paying the price. I'm getting attacked while there's running water over there. I'm in standing water, and I've always been a magnet for mosquitoes, and they're just loving me today. The moment I stand still, which I have to work the camera, I'm getting attacked. I've turned up my collar, put on my hat, I've got long sleeves and long pants, and they're just all over me. So I'm going to fish out my camera here and pack up, and of course I have to double back. I've got to remember which way I came now. I've got to go way up there. I've got to find the way I crossed over, and then I've got to double back. There's a there's a little ridge. You may even be able to see the little indentation there. That's water running down there. I can't cross over there, it's too wide. And then while I'm here, I'm going to try the composition from down there shooting up this way. I mean, just as well try it from here. And then I've got to remember where the heck I parked. I'm over somewhere over in those trees up there. And then I will drive further up towards those mountains up there and see what else I find. But when I get back to the car, it's mosquito spray. Bye for now. Well, I think Mr. Mosquito brought his friends with him, because I'm eaten alive here. They're even going all over my tripod. But I managed to get to this other location. I took a shot facing that way, but I want to show you the setup I have right here. I got down really low. You can see I've actually stretched my legs, set up my feet in the water here. Maybe that's why the mosquitoes are bugging me. But I got down really low and took a shot here facing the mountains. I'd sit here and enjoy the scenery, except I'm getting buzzed like crazy. I mean, they're everywhere. They just love me to death. But anyway, I'm going to pack up and go to the car and spray myself all over. All right, I'll chat later. Bye-bye. I've left the park, but this place just keeps on giving, and I keep stopping. I can't resist taking photographs, but I would be remiss if I didn't share this scene with you. There's this very beautiful spot right here. Just walk over a little bit here and show you this scene. It's just spectacular. A bit windy. I'm going to try and hold the camera as steady as I can. Actually I say, the place just keeps on giving even when you leave. Maybe it doesn't want you to leave. I certainly don't want to leave, but there's a limit. I'm hungry, a little bit tired, and I'm just going to take my time driving out, enjoy the scenery. It's getting late in the day, but I've had a good time. Yeah, it's wonderful. But you can't just beat this. It's daylight right now, as you can see, in actual fact early afternoon. Quite hot, 91 degrees in actual fact. But I'm using the early afternoon for scouting, because I'm going to be coming back to a location that I hope to find for a sunset shot. I've been doing early morning shoots, and I'm switching it up to do a sunset shot. Let me give you a look at one potential location. This one promises to be good. The direction I'm hoping to get, those mountains right there. I'm up on a high location, which was going to be good, because I was going to get that water. I don't know if I can see it. I've got sun in my eyes, so it's hard to kind of get this all lined up for you. It gets a bit higher there. There's water over there. I was going to get that in the foreground with some for reflection, and I had a tree picked out being around. There. Except, look what's in my way. A cat machine. I drove quite a long way down several dirt tracks, shaking my bones, to find what I thought would be an ideal location. And I have some nice clouds in the sky, which should help with the sunset. It's not to be. Behind me is a nice location, but that's not going to work. The sun won't be in that direction. So, plan B, keep looking. I found a good location. It took a bit of driving around, but this is what scouting is all about, planning and preparation. So I'm going to show you what I have. I've got water here for my reflection that I'm going to try and take advantage of. I will most likely cut out this foreground here and use the other foreground there. And what I really like about this location is, especially that tree right there, which has got a very interesting shape. I may use these other trees right here, and if I do, then of course I'm going to use that mountain range and probably work on the entire expanse. On the other hand, I'm probably more inclined to isolate, and I'm going to frame it up for you, isolate just this tree, and then use just that mountain range right there, which has, let me get that framed up right there, the snow caps. Even though we're well into the first week of June, that to me has a more interesting composition as opposed to perhaps that one right there. So I think I'll try both. I'm leaning towards this one, but I'm going to try both. And you know, when that sun is set, now when I was here earlier, there were a lot of clouds, but they've shifted. They're now over there, and it's too bad because those clouds would have made a far more interesting sunset. But you know, we can't control the weather. We're going to go with what we have. So there we are. And it's good to plan ahead, because the turnoff for this dirt road, which is a very long one, I drove for probably about 10 minutes down this dirt road, which is very rough and bumpy at times. My car was shuddering like crazy because it's not an off-road vehicle. It's built it's built for highway and city. But the turnoff wasn't marked, so I planned ahead and figured out my directions, and this is what scouting is all about, planning. And it took me a while to find this correct composition. And it's good, especially when you come to a location where you're going to come either early in the morning or late at night. And scouting is the most important part of photography. So now I can come back here knowing my location. I can set up and not have to worry about picking the spot. I can focus on my camera settings and setting up the tripod. I come right to this spot. Even if I was to come here in the dark, I think I can find it. But I'm going to get here before the sun sets, probably about an hour, maybe a little bit more before, because the light is going to be optimal an hour before. So I'm going to try some shots before sundown, as the sun sets, and I'm going to stick around after the sun sets because the light is usually pretty good then. All right, so we'll check in again then. All right, bye for now. I'm back at the location for the sunset. I did my test shots, as I mentioned earlier. The second setup, where I was going to use that tree, turned out to be the better of the two. I preferred that one. The tricky thing is, though, the sun is not setting exactly where I thought it would. If I want to get this nice reflection, I won't get that tree in the shot. I'm actually taking some shots right now as the sun is falling. I've got these beautiful clouds, so I'm actually going to get some nice color there. What I'm going to do, as the light is falling, I'll get a few shots with this composition. Let me see here, get this up like this. And what I'll do, I'll reframe the camera as the sun falls, and I can shoot into the setting sun. And then what I'll probably do, see if I can get a nice shot with this reflection right here, and then maybe frame those three trees there. Take advantage of everything I have while I'm here. So it looks like the sun is falling pretty quickly, so I better hurry up and get maybe one more shot like this, and then frame up my my picture. I better get cracking. I'd say we have some colour in those clouds that were worth waiting for, don't you? and we've got the reflection. Let me get up to the camera here so you can see the angle I have. I've been taking photographs as the sun's been going down, getting a variation of color, and I actually prefer, I still did the other angle, but I think this is the preferred one with this reflection. And that cloud has been doing me a favor by hanging around. The sun's dipped down low, but it's given me a nice reflection in the water. We're right at sunset now, but I'm going to stick around because I'm getting nice, starting to get into the blue hour. I'm getting some nice color. So it's working out quite nicely, and the other direction looks nice, but this is my preferred one. So you never really know, actually. You get a nice little surprise sometimes. Even though we had those 3 trees, we had the one tree that I said I was going to prefer, which I liked. Then as the sun set, I was given yet another surprise. So you never know what's in store. Always keep options open. And nature gave me a little surprise tonight. All right, I'm going to keep on shooting. Perfect photo? Well, it's really up to interpretation. The 2 photos following were taken just moments apart. One has wonderful clouds, and yet the other has a better reflection in the water. It just goes to show, you can never tell. I'm going to wrap it up right now and go home and get a bite to eat. I've enjoyed myself today. I may not have taken a lot of photographs, but this has proven that perseverance pays off. Planning also pays off. Going out, doing your scouting ahead of time, and finding a location as we did here today, and then coming back later on, and also being flexible as we found out here, and getting an ideal location. So scouting, planning, and being flexible. If you are not subscribing to my channel, I would like it very much if you would, and select the bell so you will be notified of any future uploads. I'm new to this channel, and it helps me a great deal. If you subscribe, that then encourages me to go out and make more content. I enjoy what I do. I enjoy coming out and getting into nature, taking photographs. Great way to spend my time, and the feedback from those of you who are watching my new videos is going to encourage me to get out there and make more of these. So without further ado, I'm going to sign off for now, and hope to see you all again on this channel. Take care. Bye-bye.